Hello, hello. We're going to get started in a few minutes, so get comfortable. We'll be back in just a second. Until then, you can see my pretty PowerPoint slide. All right. Can you see me? Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. We're just waiting for Anne to jump on. She was in our last hangout link. So, oh, there she is. Hi, Anne.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, I was just getting started. So,
Super.
thank you everyone for joining us and taking the time out of your day. And thank you, Anne, also for joining us.
Sure. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so let's see. This is how our webinar is going to work. We're going to Anne's going to do a quick presentation for about 20 minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a choreographed song and dance that Anne and I have been working on for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, would you say?
Yeah, I think so.
But then we'll move into our question and answer section where hopefully you as the audience will have some answers for Anna and it'll be really free flowing. So when we get to that point, if you're having trouble writing in the chat section of YouTube, we'll go ahead and show you how you can do that if you're having any troubles. So I think with that, Anne, if you want to get started and dazzle us with
Okay.
your PowerPoint.
Sure. All right, everybody. First of all, thanks for joining. And Stephanie, this is awesome. It's the first time I've done this Google Hangouts, and I love learning new things. And I also just wanted to share with everybody that I was so appreciative when you contacted me after we made our major announcement for ASTA, right? We changed our name from the American Society of Travel Agents to the American Society of Travel Advisors. And then we also rebranded NACTA, the National Association of Career Travel Agents. And you contacted me and we got on the phone and I took you through everything we were doing. And this is kind of all this came about. And Stephanie said, Ann, I think this is great information. Would you love to share this with my audience? I said, absolutely. So here we are today. And I'm going to start sharing my presentation and I'm going to walk you through the whole rebrand, the change, why we made that decision, some of the initiatives they're doing on consumer awareness. And hopefully you'll get a little bit more acclimated to ASTA and our new small business network and hopefully join our association. And greetings from Seattle, Washington, rainy Seattle. I think technology is great because I'm able to do this and broadcast live to you. We're all at different places. So here we go. I'm going to start sharing my presentation here. And Stephanie, can you see that okay?
Yep.
All righty. So again, thank you, Stephanie, so much for inviting me to be a guest with your audience. And I'm going to talk, as I mentioned earlier, about the American Society of Travel Advisors and what some of the membership benefits are and some of the work that we do. And a lot of people think that we just do a lot of the government affairs work, but we do so much more than that. And I'm going to take you through all those benefits and services that we offer. And hopefully you'll feel a little bit more up to speed on what we do. So this is our new rebrand for NACTA. I'll take you kind of through the timeline here, but this just was announced at our NACTA. It was our last NACTA conference that we had in Washington, D.C. just at the end of August this year. And we had a great turnout at our conference and we introduced our new logo and our name. So our independent agents or NACTA is now going to be known as ASTA's Small Business Network. And the reason why we came up with the name Small Business is that if we look at the trends in the industry, there's so many different IC models out there. Some are ICs that work completely independent, some are hosted, some have other W-2 employees or ICs that they work with. So we just felt that the name and our chapter leadership, that the name Small Businesses was a better representation of this audience. And this is the leadership team at ASTA. I always like to put a face with the company so people understand some of the work that we do and how we're laid out. And our president and CEO is Zane Kirby, you see at the top there. That's me on the left. And I manage not only the small business network for ASTA, but the marketing and membership and our strategic partnerships with our consortia and host agencies. And Evan Peck is my counterpart there, and he does all the government work in Washington, D.C. So they're all in Washington, D.C., and I'm in the other Washington, Washington State. Kelly Beagle works with our suppliers, Bob Douglas. Many of you may know him. Bob's out and about quite a bit. And Bob in the middle there is in charge of our chapter system, our international expansion. And then Mark Meter, what he does is his work's pretty important because he keeps an eye on everything that's happening in the travel industry affairs, what's happening with hotels and commissions and, things to be aware of. So he's kind of our eyes and ears out there in the industry. And then, of course, Peter Labasso is our general counsel. And that's our attorney. If things come up with agencies or there's situations in the industry we need to be aware of, we have Peter Labasso. So thanks for meeting our ASTA senior leadership team. And we're governed by a board of directors. So this is our voice. ASTA is a nonprofit, right? We're a .org company. We're not owned by anybody. We're owned by the travel industry in essence. And so we have board positions and we have representatives from different areas of the industry to make sure that we have one voice. For example, we have a consortia representative on the board. We have host agency representatives. We have at-large positions represented. We have our large corporate agencies represented. So I wanted you to see this picture. You may recognize some of the faces here, but they're voices that help guide us in the decision-making to support our travel industry. The people on the well-represented, that's the section, that's our executive committee there. And I wanted to show you kind of our staff team. We're a very young team. Since Zane Kirby's been on board, he's really hired a lot of very young, talented people, and we just all really enjoy working together. We have a lot of fun what we do, and we enjoy supporting all of you. So ASTA has been around for 85 years. We were founded in 1931, And our primary work is to promote you. We promote you to consumers. And we also not only promoting your value to consumers, but also we defend the travel agency community. We make sure that laws and things aren't passed that would negatively impact your business. So we keep an eye on government affairs and what's happening there so you can do what you do best, sell travel, and take care of your clients. The other thing we do in regards to promoting your value and defending and protecting your business is that we also advocate for consumers, of course, for consumer awareness. We make sure that we have our attention on that to make sure that consumers are treated fairly when it comes to travel. Who do we represent? I showed this slide so you can see the scope of the industry. As you know, the industry is a large, multifaceted representation of many different channels, from leisure advisors such as yourself or independent advisors. We represent the core consortia, and what's cool about the consortia is that they can come together and use ASTA kind of as their Switzerland, right? Their home base. The consortias come together, we have meetings for them, and they can brainstorm and talk about industry issues, kind of on a middle ground, if you will. Tourism boards seek to have more business from the American market, so we have a lot of tourism international boards we work with, and of course the travel suppliers want to get your attention and get in front of you, so a lot of suppliers join ASTA because they want to meet all of you. Our travel management companies, corporate, and of course consumers, as I mentioned earlier, represent consumers. So the scope and size of ASTA, we have about 9,000 advisors, and those come from over 4,000 agencies. So that's just kind of a breadth of who we represent. And I get questions when I'm on the road quite a bit about, well, my host agency is a member of ASTA, so they take care of me, and I should be okay. Well, that's true. Your host agency is doing great work, and many of them are behind ASTA and have been pushing membership in ASTA for their independent advisors. And the reason is because you guys are your small businesses, right? You have your own agencies. So while your consortium and host agencies do great work, they want you to join as well because you're your own individual business, and you'll get the membership alerts and understand a little bit more about what we do once you join as an individual agency or company. And we work in concert with host agencies. They have the preferred supplier relationships, the business tools, the marketing. We both provide community and education. And then together, ASTA does the advocacy work, the government affairs. We regulate kind of what's happening in the industry. We do large consumer awareness campaigns to send new customers your way. And we just provide this platform for industry-wide networking. So it's not so vertical. Consider us more about horizontal cross-section of the industry where you can network with your peers. And it's a great place, too, to collect industry intelligence about what's going on out there. So government affairs.
Whoa.
I don't use any bad language, but I want to get your attention on this slide. Government affairs is important because you want to understand what things are being passed as far as.
And?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it just got really weird.
Okay. How's it now?
I think it's better.
Okay. Is it the voice or is it more the image?
It's the voice.
Okay. Let me see if I can lean back. Is that better?
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure what just happened.
All right. Let me know again if it's a glitch, and I'll kind of just resituate.
Maybe it was because you were swearing in the middle of our presentation.
Okay, you can stop me and I'll keep going, powering through these. The government affairs, of course, is important because the government has a large microscope. They're looking at us, and especially at the state level, they want to tax us, and they want to find revenue wherever possible. So they try to pass language that would negatively impact our agencies, right? So you would be taxed. I'm going to go through some of the slides that would show if we didn't stop some of these bills being passed, we would be not in a very good situation. So with your involvement in joining us and understanding what's going on, we can do a great job for you. This is the ASTA advocacy overview. We lobby direct. We have ASTA staff. We have outside lobbyists that go to Washington, D.C. and promote your value and talk about your value as ASTA small businesses. We also do grassroots lobbying from our members in the field. Like if there was an issue here in Washington State, we could go down to Olympia and they'd give us the language and we'd talk to them and say, no, you can't tax gross revenue. Are you kidding? That would put our members, small businesses out of business. So a lot of it's education at a grassroots lobbying level. And then we get money for ASTA PAC donations. They say that if you can't come forward with an ASTA PAC or money to talk to senators and congressional people, that your voice won't be heard. So these are kind of the three areas: raising money for ASTA PAC, ASTA staff and outside lobbyists, and using our member agencies at a grassroots level to educate and inform on issues that negatively could affect agencies. So how do we get our voice heard? And this is kind of my last slide. I'm going to wrap up a little bit on government affairs, but I wanted to point out to you that if you spell out our name, the American Society of Travel Advisors. So our number one job is to protect travel advisors. And there's some wonderful other associations for airlines, cruise lines, hotels. They also have associations, right? So the airlines have 191 lobbyists lobbying for airlines and their needs in Washington, D.C. And you can see the amount of money that they contribute for their efforts. Hotels have 63 lobbyists just to put the voice forward for hotels. CLIA, the cruise lines, they have 21 lobbyists. They're the Cruise Line Industry Association and car rental companies. And the reason why I'm pointing out the number of lobbyists is, today ASTA has 3. We have 3 people advocating for you all, for our travel advisors. So that's why we need your help. Look at our contribution is $137,000. We're trying to collect, have you guys represented. And we go against the airlines, we have the cruise lines, hotels, right? Kind of outnumbering us there. But anyway, that's why that's important. Just think about joining your association.
And I'm sorry, you got really choppy again.
Say that again.
You just got a little bit choppy again. I'm not sure.
Okay, sorry I keep glitching out on there. I'll kind of lean forward and back and see if that helps. But anyway, that's the ASTA. We need you, and we need your voice heard, and we'd love to have you join your industry association. Here's some case studies. I'm not going to go through them, but if some of these things pass, you could be fined for non-compliance if you make a mistake, up to $32,000 per infraction, like if you neglected to make an airline disclosure. So we really try to educate and inform our agencies that if you're selling air, just be very careful of the disclosures that you need to make and try to avoid getting fined. So don't mean to scare you there, but there are a number of disclosures that you need to make under the FAA reauthorization. And this is our legislative day. It's kind of a fun event in Washington, D.C., where we go up to Capitol Hill once a year. We'll go up in June in 2019, and we advocate for travel advisors and travel agency businesses. And we make sure we educate and inform and tell them that travel sellers are alive and well and have our voices heard. I'm going to switch gears here. Steph, can you hear me okay still?
I can. It's a little bit choppy.
Okay. Hopefully they're seeing my slides and we're picking up some information if I glitch in and out here. This is what ASTA was 85 years ago. Can you see this slide? I mean, we started as the American Steamship and Tourist Agents Association. And we've progressed through the years. You can see our logos there. And kept the acronym, ASTA, and just have adapted that through the years. And now we're known as advisors versus agents. And I'll explain that in a minute. But as the industry's changed, we have a number of independent advisors. Your group is growing enormously. NACTA has remained steady over the years. We have over 1,600 travel advisors that are
Sorry, Anne, I need to interrupt again. It's just really hard to understand you.
Darn it.
Is your speaker, are your speakers on or something? Because
Yeah, darn it. speakers. Let's see. I'm going to adjust my speakers a bit here.
It's getting better again. So maybe we can just try again, nice and slow.
Okay. Is it better if I talk slower or?
It seems to be. I'm not sure. Maybe it's like a bandwidth issue. I'm just throwing out words here. I have no idea.
Okay. Bummer. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. You just interrupt me and I'll just try to make adjustments, Steph, as we go.
Perfect. You're good right now. So
great. Okay, you're seeing this slide. Just wanted to show you how many advisors make up ASTA right now. Between the NACTA group, the Small Business Network, we have 1,600. And just in the last few years, we've had 940 advisors such as yourself join ASTA because they see the value of being a part of their association. So we have 2,200 independent advisors make up our community. And for those of you that are not members yet, we'd love to have you become a part of it. And I showed this slide because this just gives you a scope in the industry. We keep an eye on trends. This is from the Census Bureau, so it's a bit dated, the data you can see. But the 26,000 is our small businesses or independent consultants that are out there. And the 9,500 are storefront or agency firms that have W-2 employees. So just kind of give you a trend there in the industry, those orange and blue lines of what the makeup looks like out there. I mentioned the name change. I just want to show this slide that over the years, over the months, we really came forward in looking at our name, right? Do we stay with travel agent? Do we go with travel advisor? And our ASTA board that I showed you the picture earlier approved the name change in March. And then we engaged a firm, Rheingold. They had the expertise on how to rebrand, and we worked with them. And shortly after the board meeting, and then we revealed our new name and logo at our local convention in DC. So this is kind of the timeline from spring of 2017 to August 2018 is what it took to rebrand and do our name change. And then I said to Zane, I said, well, okay, we're going to go ahead and rebrand ASTA. I said, what about NACTA? What do we keep the name? National Association of Career Travel Agents? Does career travel agents mean anything to consumers? I know we're very attached to this community. Do we leave NACTA behind? What do we do? So we engaged with our chapter leaders.
Oh, Anne, I'm going to have you stop again and try to. It seems to get better when we stop for some reason. I don't know why. So we'll just, all right.
I'm going to bump up my speakers. How does that sound?
It sounds better again because we stopped. I don't know what's happening. It's very peculiar.
Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll stop from time to time.
Yes, and we can do our dance. We've been practicing.
Yeah, we can pause. Okay, this slide you're seeing is just what the time frame was when we decided to change NACTA. We didn't take this decision lightly. We met with our area directors from ASTA. We met with the NACTA regional directors, 6 of them. We asked them, what they enjoyed most about the NACTA benefits, and long and short of it is we took the very best of NACTA and we're combining it with the best of ASTA to create a combined membership package. And we announced this change in July to all members of NACTA. And then we did our big reveal also at our conference. Okay, Steph, how am I doing voice-wise?
You're doing great. I love it.
Okay. Do you recognize, hey, Steph, you might recognize some of these old logos.
Yes, they're very, that one on the left is spectacular.
Over the years, right? So this just kind of gives you a little history of how NACTA evolved. NACTA is 32 years old. It has a great story how it started. There was a woman in Dallas, Texas that wanted to, remember the term, Steph, inside agent and outside agent? Mm-hmm. And that was way back kind of in the 90s. And then host agencies started popping up in the 90s. And well, I'm an inside W-2 employee, but I'm an outside. And kind of this whole evolution started on providing community. And Donna Sheriff down in Dallas, way back when, 32 years ago, said I wanted to provide a community for my outside agents. And then sure enough, chapters all over the United States started popping up. And NACTA was created, the National Association of Commissioned Travel Agents. And then from there, we evolved and changed the name to Career Travel Agents. And the funny thing, Steph, the logo in the middle, you see that we had a debate with our leadership team and the chapter chapter directors, and we didn't know if that was an arrow pointing up, was it a house, we were a home-based agent. I think it was a home, right? And it was so important, right? It was so important to be called home. We're home-based, right? We're home-based agent. And we changed that trend because we didn't feel it was necessarily as important your location.
Oh, sorry, Anne. I'm going to have you pause really quick. Would you mind trying turning down your speakers? Maybe that might help a little bit.
Okay, yeah, let me do
Lowest
that.
they go.
Yeah, let's try that. What if I pop them down to there? How's that?
Oh, well, I think that might be a little bit better. So I think there's an echo of me, but I think it's a lot better. So let's start again about the Arrow House.
Yes, Arrow House. And I bet there's people on the phone that recognize that. We were pretty tied to this logo and brand for a while, and we just debated it, and we just said, you know what? I don't want to be called a home-based agent. I'm a professional seller of travel. I'm a travel consultant like everybody else. So then we evolved to the most recent logo, which was NACTA, and we became travel consultants. We were professional sellers of travel, and it didn't necessarily matter where we worked, as long as we serviced our clients well, and we were professional business people. So that was kind of our change, and a little history lesson there on NACTA. And then our next step, of course, we transitioned from NACTA to ASTA Small Business Network. And we've now become one part of our travel industry association. So one association, one voice in government, and it really, Stephanie, what happened here too is the consumers won't be so confused. Is really consumer awareness initiatives. The consumers like, well, do I do business with a NACTA member or do I do business with an ASTA member? And what's the difference? So it really was confusing to consumers, and that's another reason why we rebranded to the ASTA Small Business Network.
This is really random, Anne, but
okay.
Does the ASTA Small Business Network and the ASTA main body, is their logo different shades of blue?
It should be the same. So you're talking about this color teal blue here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the same as the new ASTA logo.
Oh, okay. Because they look different, so I wasn't sure if that was. Yeah, it looks more teal for the Small Business Network, but that's.
Yeah, it should be the same. Yeah, maybe it's just the slide. And what we're also carrying on here, our chapter leaders said, and our chapters are so important. I don't want people to forget who we are when we change our name. So see this formerly NACTA. We're keeping that on the bottom of the logo, so people get the connection that it is the NACTA Association that's been rebranded. So you'll see us carry that name for a while going forward. It's like when you get married, you keep your maiden name in there for a while. And then people ask me, what is NACTA comprised of? What is the makeup of NACTA? And you can see the hosted ICs represent 48%. So nearly half of small businesses are hosted. 38% are not hosted. They're fully independent. And these are either people that are new to the business.
Sorry, Anne, I'm going to have you pause because you're breaking up quite a bit again. And I know, just to acknowledge, I know that those of you that are listening, thank you for writing in and telling us, that you're having some issues hearing, because that helps us so that we know if it's not just on my end, that you're also having some problems. So please keep chatting in the chat box.
Yeah, keep chatting. And then when I'm done presenting, maybe we can write your questions down too, so we can answer them at the end. But I wanted to show this slide, Steph. I hope you can hear me again.
Yes.
So this slide really shows the composition of NACTA, or the Small Business Network, representing W-2s, hosted, franchise organizations, etc. So all small business agencies. And this slide, hopefully you can hear me, Steph, on this one. We went out and did some survey. We have a research department, and we did a lot of research with consumers. And we asked them, who would you do business with? What do you feel comfortable with as far as booking through a travel agency? And the strongest name was travel advisor. They really felt comfortable that, and if you think about it, consumers are out there doing their own research, and they want to have advice from an experienced travel advisor. So that name came out on top. And so that's why we adopted that name for ASTA. We're going forward with Travel Advisor. And there's other, like Signature Travel Network, they came forward and they're now going with Travel Advisor in terms
Oops,
of
it's really choppy again, Anne. I'm so sorry to keep interrupting you.
Oh, you keep interrupting. I just want to make sure it's, maybe you talk for a second.
Yeah, well,
Break it up.
I'll say that I really like Travel Curator, and I like some of these names in there, Travel Strategist. I feel like you could have had a lot of fun with making this list, but I like Travel Advisor, and I'll be the first to admit we just did a podcast with Becky Lukovich on luxury travel, and we were talking. You had just changed the name to Travel Advisor, and I was trying to say the word travel advisor instead of travel agent during the podcast. And it's a really hard habit to break for at least me. I'm not sure if anyone else feels that way.
It's hard for me too. I try to catch myself when I'm writing emails to do the replace the agent to advisor, but it will be a transition for sure.
Yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah. I wanted the audience to know that this is the name that we're putting forward in our consumer media outlets. So that's the name we're going forward with actually throughout the industry, of course, and also especially with our consumer audiences. And the other names are great. It's just that this is a name that consumers resonated with as far as wanting to do business with you.
Perfect.
Okay. So now we do this work with consumer awareness, and our phones are ringing off the hook, right? We have the number one calls we thought they were coming in from our travel advisors. They're consumers. They're consumers that are calling ASTA wanting to find you. And so we're swamped with phone calls. We tell the consumers to go to TravelSense. So this is our consumer portal. And so if you guys want to write this down, you can check it out and go in there. And this is where we're funneling consumer leads to you. So as an ASTA member, you can take advantage of consumer leads, build a profile. There's no charge for this as an ASTA member. If you're not an ASTA member, you can't have your profile up there, of course. And the cool feature, you see the Judy Jewel there on the screen? That's a live chat feature that consumers can chat when they find you. So wherever you're traveling, whatever you're doing, if you want to be available, you can start chatting with the consumer and help them plan travel or just engage with them. And that's coming in a couple months, that new chat feature.
Oh, that's interesting. So how will you decide which agent gets paired with the website visitors?
What we do is we have a profile, and the consumer can search by vacation type, cruise specialist, European specialist, that kind of thing. So by specialists, they can also search. See, it says travel type in that window there above the gentleman's head, the hiker's head. They can search by destination. They could do an advanced search by an ASTA verified travel advisor. Some of them really want to know that ASTA is endorsed or verified and certified travel advisors, so they can go that route, which I'll talk about in a minute, our ASTA verified program. And so we make it consumer user friendly. And my advice when you join ASTA and have your profile up here, that really hone in on your specialist, your specialty. And the consumers are looking, if you haven't been to Australia, you know, in 8 years and you're not comfortable selling, please don't put that you're an Australia specialist on there, right? I mean, it might be nice to get a nice lead for that destination, but these consumers are really looking for people that know the ins and outs of a particular product or destination. So that would be my advice on the TravelSense. How's my voice?
It's a little bit choppy still, but
okay.
Do you know how many visitors a month TravelSense gets, just to help agents or advisors get a better feel for the type of traffic that's going to it?
Great question. We monitor monthly our trends, and it's been as high as 110,000 a month.
Wow.
Between TravelSense and ASTA.org.
Mm-hmm.
So they may hear about us in consumer media, and they'll go to ASTA.org, clicking around trying to find a travel advisor, or they'll come to TravelSense. So it's been as high as 110. We're averaging about 80,000 consumers looking for you.
Wow.
And a lot of them are lucrative leads because, the simple transactional leads they'll go direct. Unfortunately, they'll go direct with their small packages. But they're looking for people that are very experienced in different areas and destinations. And so we're hearing feedback from our members
Oh, and
that,
I'm gonna stop you again because it's a
okay,
little bit
copy
echoey.
again.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I have heard about in Facebook there was one of the Facebook groups I was in with different advisors. They were talking about Travel Sense and saying, "Have you set up a profile there?" and asking if people had gotten leads and if they actually were able to close the leads. And the person had answered that they'd gotten some really, really nice leads from Travel Sense, and were able to close a significant chunk of them.
Super. Yeah, that's what we're hearing too. And so I just would encourage, as soon as you join, make sure you get that profile and professional headshot up there. They want to see who they're doing business with. And the other thing, Stephanie, why they call ASTA
Hmm.
is they're looking to see if these agencies are legitimate. Is your business legitimate to transact with? And so think of ASTA as the good housekeeping seal of approval. And you might be a very legitimate business, but if a consumer doesn't know you, they're going to call ASTA and say, should I be doing business with this agency? So that's
Hmm.
another reason why consumers call us to verify you. Did that come across okay, Steph?
Yeah, it's a little bit better, but there's an echo for some reason whenever I
Mm.
talk. So are you able to turn down your speakers
Yeah,
at
I'll do
all?
that again. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I turned those down.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what kind of feedback we get. We're just kind of working this out. So thank you everyone for being
Thanks,
patient.
everybody. Sorry about that.
Oh,
This
hey
is
Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob. Some of you might know Jacob. I had a video I was going to show, but just with our sound issues, I won't play it. But he's our great. We love Jacob. He's been at ASTA convention and just is a huge advocate for us. And look at him. He received $35,000 in sales off of Travel Sense, and he's continuing to get many, many
Oops, I'm gonna,
leads.
sorry, Anne, we're gonna stop for a second and just see if we can get it to come back in a little better. But
All
and those
right.
of you that don't know Jacob, he's very, very nice. He's from South Dakota and he comes to Minneapolis, and him and Mary have gone out for coffee quite a few times, and we really like Jacob as well at HAR.
He's awesome. Yeah, great guy. I'm going to skip over the video. And then just here's some benefits. What you get. What else do I get when I join, right? We always want to know, if I pay my dues, what do I get for my money? So not only the leads, but you get a really cool magazine that has a lot of useful information. A lot of it's written by some of our senior leadership team. I think you'll really enjoy that. It comes out 4 times a year. And some of you might be familiar with that NACTA Agent Digest, which is it is a community. It's a push piece, so it's an email, and you can post questions for travel information and get immediate responses from all of your peers. Chapters are an important part too. You get on a local level, right? You can meet and network with your peers, and of course, travel since we already talked about. The chapters, Bob Duglin. Bob's the one that's really helping us really elevate our chapter program. We have over 70 chapters and growing. They're coming together between ASTA and ASTA Small Business Network. So they're getting much more stronger, and we have our young professionals represented on our chapter teams too, for that, that next generation, the up and comers. We very much encourage our young professionals to also join our chapter program. Okay, Steph, I hate to ask again how I'm doing, but
It's it's a little bit choppy, but I think we can
We'll
keep
get through
pushing
it.
through. Yeah, and then we'll get into the Q&A soon, and maybe that'll help a little bit.
Okay, I have a few more slides left. So this is I want to just show the scope. I know these are hard to read, but together with ASTA and ASTA Small Business Network, we're pretty well represented and growing. So if any of you are interested in starting a chapter and you don't have one in your area, please contact us, and we'll love to help you get going and start a community in your local area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do I pay? Well, because there's all different shapes and sizes in the industry, from small businesses all the way up to our very large corporate agencies, are premium level, and consortia. They pay up to $35,000 a year because they're huge in scope. So we tried to right size membership to the size of the agency. And to join ASTA is $199 a year. And these are the benefits that you see on the far left. Okay. So run for BOD means run for the National Board of Directors. So you wouldn't be able to do that, but you could do that if you wanted to pay a company membership rate of $335. Then you could run for the national board. But certainly you have representation with a voice. Helen Perkillo actually is our representative on our national board for our ASTA Small Business Network. And of course, you can start a chapter, become chapter leadership, and those are all the benefits that you would see in that first column. Okay.
Perfect.
Great. Here's another small recap of how it works. So individuals, such as many of you on the phone, would pay to $199. And then if you want a company rate, let's say you have W-2 employees, you might want to consider the agency rate because those W-2 employees would be included, and that's a better value, all the way up to a larger membership dues size. We talked about consumer demand, right? ASTA advocates for you and tells consumers why to do business with an ASTA advisor. And this is kind of our brag slide, just some of the media outlets that Stephanie, they'll call us and they'll say, you know, United Airlines, Dr. Dow got pulled off a plane. What does ASTA say about that? So while we'll be contacted to comment, Erica Richter is our PR person in communications. She will take the story or take the interview and then she'll weave in why it's important to do business with an ASTA travel advisor.
Yeah, for those of you that are listening, there's been an amazing, I'd say the past 4 years, since you and Zane came on, there's just been this huge change with ASTA and the amount of consumer awareness and as well as consumer coverage, especially the last few years. There's been a lot of mainstream places that have picked up pro travel advisor stories. So kudos to you.
Thank you for that. We work hard. Yeah, thank you. And those leads are coming in. So here's some other areas that we get asked to comment on industry and travel and the need to use a travel advisor. And we're going to keep doing this. Erica Richter does a great job, and we'll keep making them aware. You see the 100,000 I talked about earlier, Stephanie?
Oh, yeah.
100,000 unique visitors each month visit ASTA's website. That's between ASTA, Travel Sense, and ASTA.org. Looking to find you.
Awesome sauce.
Yep. And just want to show our consumer campaign. We're talking, we'll take you there. Travel advisors will take you there. The perfect vacation. So this is kind of just a sneak peek at our what else we're doing with consumer awareness campaigns and advertising. VTA. Okay, we're rounding the horn here. I'm going to finish up a little bit, but many of you may have heard of our certification program. How this came about was, since we represent the travel seller, right, the travel industry, travel advisors, ASTA should be the ones certifying them. There's great courses that are out there for destinations and cruise lines and hotels, and those are all wonderful, and they're very educational. But we wanted to complement that and put out courses that you need to know to be successful, to improve your business, and legally what you need to know to be compliant so you don't get fined. And these are the 9 courses that we offer. Each course takes about an hour in length to complete, depending on your speed. And then you test out of each course or quizzed out. If you want to take a quiz, and you move on to whatever order you want. And then by the end of it, you earn that check mark or logo designation, ASTA Verified Travel Advisor. It's $399 to take all 9. This is my commercial. $399 to take all 9 courses, and you will be bumped up on your profile for consumer leads and recognized as a certified advisor of ASTA. And these are some of our graduates. We had 90 of them graduate in the first year. We started it last July. We built it and launched it in August of 2017. And I bet you see some familiar faces in there.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And oh yeah, there's Jackie and Betsy.
Yeah, Helen and Betsy, right? Tony,
Mm-hmm.
maybe people know Tony there. And this is just a small group, but we had 90 people graduate. And so kudos to them for taking the coursework and putting their career first.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have another comment on that, Steph?
We've got a couple questions.
Sure.
So I think we're going to mix them in now. Someone's wondering the difference between, because there are all sorts of certification programs out there, but the difference between the ASTA verified travel advisor versus the Travel Institute's CTA and CTC program.
Good question.
Yes, thank you, Bonnie.
Yes, they have great programs. For example, I've earned my CTC and I've actually earned my CTIE, and I've taken their coursework. It was many years ago, but I did do that. And what we tried to do is to have courses that weren't replicating what was out there already in the industry. So education is very important. Great coursework that's out there. Ours is different in that we have a consumer program tied to ours. So the reason why we came out with this coursework was because we wanted to use the expertise and knowledge of our industry lawyer, our government affairs, our industry affairs, right? So we used really this great mind share to put our program together. There is a recertification that you need to take that we continue to build. There's 2 to 3 courses you take thereafter, so you remain knowledgeable. And the other difference is the consumers, right? They want to know that they're finding somebody that has taken this coursework and understands ethics and compliance and the legalese of running a business. So that's the biggest difference, is our consumer tie, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then as far as the cost for it, Jennifer was wondering, was it $399, did you say?
$399 for all 9 courses and the
Okay.
test, everything,
Okay.
all in.
$399 for everything then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I just want to acknowledge Judy. Thanks for writing in and asking about how to update your travel sense profile. She's an agent that already belongs to ASTA, so thank you for that. And doesn't have the information on it. I was wondering if we'd be able to send it out. So yes, we will put something in the description. We'll send a follow-up email, and in the description of this YouTube recording, we'll put the place where you can sign up for your travel sense profile.
Perfect. In the far right corner there too, Stephanie, we have the www.asta.org VTA. So if you want to find out more about the coursework and read about it in the descriptions, you can just log on to that /VTA.
Perfect.
Okay. Global convention. We believe annually it's good to come together face to face as an industry. We know there's great consortia shows, host agency shows, cruise line shows. There are host agency shows out there, but this is a celebration of our entire industry. All different shapes and sizes, consortia, hosted, independent, corporate, leisure, come together once a year. It's usually the end of August, and this year it's in Miami. Bob is putting together, he's already contacted the cruise lines that have ships down there. So we're working on ship inspections. We're working on pre and post cruise fans.
Oh, wow.
We have some trips to Cuba planned. So it would be worth your while to make your way down to Fort Lauderdale. So save the date.
Yes, that's actually great to hear. And I'm just going to interrupt you really quick to give it a breather again. But for those of you that have never attended the ASTA Global Convention, this is actually, I think, where I met you, Anne, like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, and actually, I think it was at the Diplomat Beach Resort. Was that?
I think very much that could have been our Miami. We did the Miami and we went to Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We had to combine back to back in Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, if you've never gone to it, every convention and conference within industry has like a different flavor to it. And there's different types of people. And from my personal experience, when you go to the ASTA event, it's a very different group of people, and that it's a lot of agents that are very motivated and very high level. You meet a a different degree of people than you might if you were going to a conference that's focusing just on cruises. Like there's such a wide variety of agents that go. It's really interesting to be able to talk to the corporate agencies, the big corporate agencies, the smaller, everybody's there. So that's what I really like about the global convention.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
That's Global Convention. Save the date. And then we have ASTA Small Business Network, which is, again, formerly NACTA. We will continue to have our own meetings once a year. And these tend to be destination oriented. We went to Alaska in 2016, 2017. We were back to back with ASTA in DC. We've been to Hawaii. We've been to Arizona. But I'm really excited about this one because we're going to be in the Colorado Rockies. And
Beautiful.
Again, yeah, we put a lot of pre and post spams on these too. September 29th to October 1st at it's brand new Gaylord Rockies.
Ooh.
So these are all your peers and colleagues will be, many of our host agencies or suppliers and advisors will all be here September 29th, October 1.
Yes, and just to let everyone know, HAR will probably be there. We'll have some sort of representation there, so we hope to see you there.
Great. And this is we're planned out even for 2020. We're going to be in Savannah, Georgia.
Wow.
I know, it's that far out. We know you guys travel a lot, so we wanted to make sure we get these on your calendars to save the date. November 14th and 19th will be in Savannah, Georgia.
Fabulous.
Fans. We have a person dedicated to fans. There's some of those fans on there. Aurora Borealis, that's my favorite, the Alaska ones. That's sold out, but we got a second departure for a fan. So think about
And
that.
I'm sorry, Anne, you're really breaking up again. Can you try readjusting position or,
Yeah.
I don't know, doing something magical?
Yeah, I'm going to work this again. Okay. Better?
A little bit.
A little. Okay, well, you get the gist on the slide.
Yes.
So, Stephanie, that's it. This is my closing slide. I have a deal for you because you've been so good to us, Stephanie, that I wanted to give our audience savings. And we don't normally do this, but I want to give you guys. I so appreciate you taking your time to be on the call. You know, choppy, you can't hear me.
I know. So sad.
So you want to talk to this one for me, Stephanie?
Yeah, so this one is fabulous because ASTA has given a very generous gift to the attendees of this webinar. If you want to sign on and join ASTA, which I would really encourage you to because we're all stronger together, and the amount of the difference that it's made in the past 5 or 6 years since consortia have mandated that their members join ASTA, and the power of everyone coming together it really shows, like the amount of the quality of the people that have been hired at ASTA, the amount of press we've been getting, the legislative aspect of things. So they've offered this for a week, so you have a week to think about it, but use the promo code Host Agency Reviews when you go to asta.org/join, and then they'll go through a checkout process when you click that you want the IC thing, and then you can enter the promo code Host Reviews 2018.
Perfect.
Yes, and I know that Julie, you had asked if they offer any discounts or promo codes on the courses. And Anne, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that there's any discounts or promo codes on the courses. It's only for registration, right?
That's correct. Just the registration rate.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah. We felt that was the best value we could provide was the $3.99.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my contact info. If any of you guys want to jot that down, Jasmine or Andrea can answer any questions about the membership if you have any issues registering.
Perfect.
Jot those down. And that's it. Really, Steph, that's my closing slide there. So I'm going to put my face back up and see if there's any other questions here. I'll stop sharing this.
All right. Perfect. Well, we've got let's move into the question and answer section really quick. And
Okay.
so Bonnie, thank you for asking. She's wondering if she can upload the YouTube video and share it with her chapters. And yes, you are more than welcome to, although this will actually already be recorded on YouTube, so you can just share the link there. And anyone else, the goal of this is to get people to join ASTA, and we would love it if you would share it with other people. They're more than welcome to use the promo code if you're watching this on our site, in the next couple days. Please feel free to use the promo code. And we have, I think it's Brenda, said everyone in travel should be a member, which I wholeheartedly agree. So
Thanks, Brenda.
yeah, well, let's see. I have another question. So let's see. With the research papers that, because we didn't really cover that, but that's a huge thing. Do the independent contractors get, oh, sorry, that was Brent that said that. Brent, 100% agree, not Brenda. um, anyhow, with the research papers, is that something that the IC, if you sign up with that level, that you get access to?
At IC level, usually not, but there is, check out that website where it says resources, asta.org resources, and there is information that's up there that will help them. Usually it's not available to the ICs. They can pay for it, of course. Yeah, some of them are, yes, absolutely, you can pay for that if they want, if they really want some of this information. But those are reserved for our premium members, that they would have access because they're paying this higher dues level that supports that research. But certainly they do get, Stephanie, what we call member alerts or action alerts that will alert them to what's happening in their areas, in their hometowns, in their states that they should be aware of. And if they're not a member, they don't get those action alerts to understand what's going on.
Yeah, I actually got one of those and went and spoke. I don't even know who I was speaking with at the Minnesota Capitol when they were trying to tax. It was maybe like 10 years ago. They were trying to tax. I think they were something with the OTAs. There's often a problem with regular mainstream travel agencies being bunched in with OTAs, and that's what a lot of legislative efforts of ASTA are aimed towards. But what was happening was they were trying to tax the OTAs, but they were also going to be taxing, the mom and pop shops.
We get we get caught in that crossfire there. They're trying to do hotel taxes, for example, and they're really targeting the OTAs, and it negatively affects us. So we're trying to separate ourselves from that.
Are OTAs a part of ASTA?
They are, because we represent the industry, right? Yeah. For example, they need us. They actually, the OTAs want that because they know that we're advocating for travel advisors. So OTAs are a member of ASTA as well.
Cool. Well, if anyone has any questions, I'm just going to show a screen really quickly that, just a second, I can't talk and do things at the same time. All right, so for Q&As, if you're having any trouble asking questions or chatting in the chat field, you can go ahead. There's a little icon of yourself up in the upper right-hand corner if you log into your Google account, and you can see Bridget Lee right here. You're going to click on my channel. This literally takes 3 seconds. And then you're going to click on create a channel, and that will allow you to write in chat if you're having any problems. So I'm going to jump back. Let's see. Oh, wait, I didn't even share that. Hold on, everybody. Okay, so here's the walkthrough in case anyone has any questions. So click on my channel and then create channel. And I think I don't see any other questions coming through. So thank you again, everybody. Again, you have 1 week to take advantage of the ASTA promo code for hard readers, and you can go to, is it asta.org/join?
That's right. Yep.
Great.
Okay.
All
Stephanie,
right.
this has been great. Thanks so much for having me on this call. I really enjoyed it. Sorry you couldn't hear me so much, but it was fun, and I'm glad you guys all took the time to learn about ASTA.
Yeah, thanks so much, Anne. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss anything. There's a big red subscribe button below the screen if you haven't pressed that already. And if it's grayed out, that means you're already subscribed to us. So thank you.
Okay. All right, Steph. Bye,
All right.
everybody.
Bye.